The house this instant shakes with the roar of cannon, the continual roar of 24-pounders. I hear we got possession of Dorchester Hill last night, but oh, the fatal ideas connected with the sound. How many of our dear countrymen must fall? I long to hear you have declared independency.
For months across the colonies, many voices have been clamoring for independence. Now Richard Lee of Virginia makes a bold proposal to the Second Continental Congress, launching an intense debate.
Virginia resolves that these united colonies ought to be free and independent states, absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown.
I see no wisdom in a Declaration of Independence, nor any purpose to be answered by it.
Those opposed speak from deeply held principles. They plead for more time, hoping that despite the open warfare that's already broken out, the colonies can still reconcile with the mother country.
Do not let us turn our back on reconciliation till we find it a monster too difficult to approach.
But fighting is underway, and the majority wants to assert independence now. And unless they can persuade the opponents and reach a unanimous decision, any assertion of nationhood will be meaningless. As June unfolds, it appears the colonies of New England and the South will vote yes on independence, while the middle colonies are opposed or ambivalent. They hold the key to the fate of the resolution. Some of this group seeks guidance from their assemblies back home, and they're listening to what colonists are saying in town meetings, taverns, churches, and militia meetings. Word is that a massive British fleet carrying thousands of soldiers is bearing down on New York, determined to overwhelm the rebellious colonists. Is the assertion of independence inevitable or suicidal? Meanwhile, at the direction of Congress, Thomas Jefferson has been drafting a statement, a declaration that calls out the specific reasons and the moral and political context for proclaiming independence from Britain. His draft, edited with the help of others, declares that these united colonies are free and independent states, absolved of all allegiance to the British Crown, if the resolution passes. Suddenly, a shift. Maryland's assembly sends instructions to its delegation: vote in favor. What's called the greatest debate of all must now be decided. Dickinson of Pennsylvania voices his fears.
You dare to brave the storm in a skiff made of paper.
But Adams of Massachusetts, who's been the most intense and urgent voice for independence, points to what is well underway across the colonies.
We are in the very midst of revolution, the most unexpected and remarkable of any in the history of nations.
Desperate to arrive in time, Caesar Rodney of Delaware races through the night and strides into the hall.
Delaware votes in favor.
Dickinson and Robert Morris, understanding that the colonies must stand united, absent themselves, knowing the remaining Pennsylvania delegates will vote in favor. The independence resolution passes. 2 days later, July 4th, 1776, Congress issues the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration announced the independence of the United States, but it did not create a new government. Instead, it stated the principles on which a new nation would be founded, that all men are created equal with unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Abigail Adams saw the promise of this new nation. It had to belong to all the people.
I desire you would remember the ladies.
She wrote to her husband, John. We will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation. Abigail's broader understanding of the American Revolution still echoes today, that the Declaration's promise will be fulfilled only when all people have equal rights and an equal voice in government.